his neck with a flowing mane? Do you make him leap like a locust, striking terror with his proud snorting? He paws fiercely, rejoicing in his strength, and charges into the fray. He laughs at fear, afraid of nothing. He does not shy away from the sword. The quiver rattles against his side, along with the flashing spear and lance. In frenzied excitement, he eats up the ground. He cannot stand still when the trumpet sounds. At the blast of the trumpet, he snorts.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chris Striker Curtis coming to you live from Nellis Air Force Base, Nevada, or, well, look, it's say the virtual representation of that, with above and overhead tribute to the F-86, none best done by the Virtual Horsemen. Leading the Virtual Horsemen today, coming down from that set of maneuvers, is our leader, Pman Collins. Forming the right wing, your number 2 horseman today, Rock Brindley. And on the left wing, and number 3, James Kestrel Read. In 1944, the North American Aviation Company submitted a design for a swept-wing day fighter which could also be used as a dive bomber or escort fighter. 2 prototype XP-86s were contracted late 1944, but none were built until after World War II due to the incorporation of several design modifications which were prompted by German research data. Now from your left, your 2015 Virtual Horsemen. As they climb high, there's Pman in the left turn with a beautiful barrel roll as Rock and Kestrel right in there. What a precise formation. The F-86F has a top speed of 687 miles per hour at sea level. Watch now as the Horsemen throttle up from the right to give you a high-speed pass, but this time a little different than we saw yesterday, as they're all in formation. To the right, your horseman with the high-speed pass. From design in Ohio to construction in Montreal to service in South Africa to California, this plane has seen a lot of the world over its 50 years. But it is, as always, as vital as ever. As you can see, I'd like to extend our thanks to those who maintain these aircraft and flown them throughout the years. Now watch inbound from the left as all three horsemen maintain precise formation position while climbing into the vertical for a loop. Just a few of the nicknames you might hear for this aircraft are Sabre Dog or Dog, as well as Dog Ship, with reference to the F-86 Delta version. Also Cheese Fighter, coming from the Dutch F-86Ks, named after their former Amsterdam Superintendent of Police, a Mr. Kazjager, who was name translated to Cheese Fighter. Now that's definitely going to be an interesting story there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, get those 500-pound cameras ready for an amazing shot of your 2015 Virtual Horsemen. Inbound to the right for your photo pass. Flying at its finest. While it was in active service, the North American F-86 Sabre achieved 757 air victories to just 103 losses in the Korean War of 1950 through 53. A remarkable 7.3 to 1 kill ratio. And the F-86 is mainly associated with the early 50s, as just mentioned, as it saw extensive action during that war, where it was often pitted against the slightly superior MiG-15. Despite the imbalance of capability in their airplanes, Sabre pilots were able to basically gain superiority over the MiGs. Now from directly behind, watch shortly as all three horsemen will fly overhead, and number one will break left and depart the formation. Many variants were produced throughout the Sabre's life, the most numerous being the F-86D, an all-weather night fighter, which 2,054 were built. In addition to the Sabres built by North America, Canadair built a few Royal Air Canadian Air Force, to include VFAT in Italy. And from the left, it's Pman, as he'll be climbing high into the wild blue yonder with the Clover Leaf Loop. Now it's 2 and 3's turn to climb high as they perform an in-trail roll from show right. Back when the F-86 was rolling out to U.S. bases in the 1950s, North American Aviation dispatched its legendary test pilot, Bob Hoover, to show the fighter's safe handling and flying capabilities to the Air Force pilots all over the world. And boy, he did, as Hoover took that aircraft to the limit, basically showing the pilots what not to do, but if you were there, you could get out of it. Inbound from the left, it's Rock and Kestrel. Taking it down to the deck. As Kestrel makes his break. And down, and there's Rock. And there goes Pman with his last pitch with the 4 3/4 aileron rolls. Nicely done as they set up to land here momentarily. As they come into land, let me tell you about another amazing and somewhat controversial story about this aircraft.